Already put the bug in the big man here.
Excuse me.
He's okay with it.
He's sitting down.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Mexican accent.
It doesn't volume down, fellas. Volume is coming way down.
No.
Well, I was about to say, you know, I don't believe that people will be apart.
I'm gonna drink some Mexican coffee.
But I'm not sure. They might.
What about people in the bar?
No, I don't think they can hear you.
Talking about Mexican.
But I'm not sure.
You got the damn Mexican.
I'm not totally sure about it.
Mexican pizza. You ever heard about Mexican?
I never heard it.
Yeah. And
Mexican waffle.
Mexican waffle?
Blue. They want this one.
No, ain't no such thing as that.
Hey, come to listen to DC waffle on this video.
Waffle.
Oh.
There's no such thing as Mexican. That's all American food. Huevo con chorizo, o jamón, o con salchicha, cositas, tacos, quesadillas, tortas. Tortas. There's about
Stop asking.
It comes 5 cents a piece.
¿Quieren tacos del viernes? Sí. Para que le diga a mi papá que les traigo.
You bringing them?
Only for my guys, my dad. No. Oh, my girlfriend's like, no quiero.
Where'd she go?
Okay, no, hell no. I'm beating your ass. Hey. I'm born.
Yeah, I used to have a girl like that. I used to have 5 kids. She was physique. Everybody. I had to get used to it because I wasn't used to that kind of stuff. Just staring it out.
Tacos, quesadillas, papitas, tacos. You don't like chicken? It's good. You don't like it? What do you got?
I'm getting the right kind of chicken to play. Sorry.
To make it better. You need to talk now?
That's right.
We're changing chickens. Well, first in the room, I smuggled the There'll be dead people. There'll be outside. The drugs in there. Crossing the border makes me like person. Dead person.
When they said it, that's what she did.
Full of drugs. Yeah.
Like we get it, burgers. Get it in, burgers. Get it in.
That body became too long. It'll be some thank you ass road.
Mexico City, there's like this place. There's like in the city, it has like all of it's not like all of it's like 1/4 of the kidnapped that person. 1/4 of it. Oh, it's like it's like 1/4. Memory wall? Yeah, it's just 1/4.
How many people is there?
Millions. I'm trying to organize something.
Jair can jump, swim, and climb.
Like,
Hey, how much did
from across the.
Yeah.
All righty then. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
I did that. I did that one, and then we crossed there by like in the desert, right across the south.
You ready? All right, just so you know, I don't want to get your way there. Look, a couple of housekeeping things. Not really sure about Friday. I do know that we won't be having this group. I won't be doing group on Friday. I don't know.
No, man, no. You can't have that.
I know, but I'm going to go and check with my boss here late here after a while because I would like for us to be on the holiday schedule because it is a holiday. Anybody know what holiday it is?
Good Friday. Easter.
Good Friday.
Good Friday.
What Good Friday? What is it, man?
This Friday's Good Friday. Sunday is Easter. Last Sunday was Palm Sunday. It's known as Holy Week. This is the week that Jesus came into Jerusalem, rode a donkey into Jerusalem, and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to see, and of course it'd be up to the powers that be, but I'm going to see if we can do that as a just a holiday schedule.
We win Friday.
I don't. Yeah, that'll be Friday. I don't know.
Do it tomorrow. I won't be here Friday.
Well, and this is one of the reasons we're doing it.
Is he not gonna be here?
You're not going to be here. That's already kind of like a holiday. But we'll see, and I will see if that will extend because my boss is your boss is over there, and I'll see what Miss Sierra has to say about that for both facilities, and I'll let you know. We'll it's going to be a good thing. I'm certain that we're going to have something special for to eat on Sunday. I'm not really sure about that. I'm saying that just because it's Easter and we should have something special. What's the big deal? What's the big meal that most people in the world eat on Easter?
Steak and eggs.
Cooked rabbits.
Easter eggs, cooked rabbits,
Steak and eggs.
steak and eggs.
Turkey.
We're gonna do it real. Look, today's gonna be a little bit differently done. So you do need to fill out your, sign in on the sign-in sheet. There's a couple of people, and I'm not going to point out who they are, but there's some people here that are sit here in group and they never sign in. I'm not going to say who they might be. I don't want to point anybody. I don't want to point anybody out. At all. I don't insult anybody, but they don't sign. And I know that you're here because I'm looking right at you, and I know you're here. So please do sign in. I signed in for 3 different people, and I can't do that. I can't sign your name, but I'm putting your name down. That you are here, and so anyway, make sure you sign in. It's tough that Mr. Dakota left. You have no one to sit by. I really appreciate that you're allowing him to sit with you. I appreciate that because that takes some gumption. And look, we have a chair in the conference room in there that is just completely broken. It's one of these plastic chairs, so try not to lean back in them. That's what happened to that one. As you lean back, it broke, and it's you can get hurt, and that's the big deal. The chairs are nothing. We buy another chair, but we don't want you to get hurt. So do that. Sign in. Your books. I'm going to do things a little bit differently. We may take different breaks and stuff like that. We're going to do a trivia thing here pretty quick. And there are going to be prizes. So what I'm going to do is on your sign-in sheet, as soon as we get the sign-in sheet, I'm going to have it up here, and we're going to put a little something by your name if you get it right. And I ask you ladies over there to do the same thing. If you don't have a counselor or an RA in the group there with you, pick somebody there that's pretty sharp, and y'all got a lot of sharp people over there, but pick somebody, and if you get the question right, just put a little tick mark by that, and there will be prizes. Now, there are going to be some pretty big prizes. One of the prizes is going to be a car, and then we're going to give away a motorcycle. There's
One free night at the money.
yeah, there's an airplane in the mix. But before we get all of that, we have all these lesser prizes like one donut, and just one. But here's the deal, donuts include things like an eclair. Y'all know what an eclair is? That long thing with it's got chocolate on the top of it and some kind of stuff in the middle of it. Say it again. Well, we'll get a helicopter, but the helicopter and the eclair, they'll be on the same level. So you won't know whether you'll get the helicopter or the eclair.
Yes, sir.
But it'll be one. The other thing that you get, if you win, then you can get apple fritter.
Oh yeah.
They'll like apple fritters look like they fell from space, and man, nothing but bread and sugar. Yeah, they take an apple and just kind of pass it by it. Yeah, I've eaten several of those. Okay, I like them. They ain't bad, but they're way too much. I can't eat one. And then there's others. There'll be chocolate filled. Donuts and stuff like that for the winner. The winner's going to get whatever donut they want. The second place person is going to get one of the above mentioned ones, but you won't get to choose it. And the third winner will get just a regular donut. Yeah, just a donut. Look, I'm going to tell you, out of all of those, that regular donut probably the bestest of them all. I like those. So, and see, the deal about donuts, it's a really good week to be giving away donuts because this is physical week. Let's take care of our physical, health and stuff like that. And, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. You may not know this, but donuts are not good for your physical health. They're just not. They're terrible. We did a whole thing one time about 3 or 4 months ago on your breakfast, which was a what was it, Pop-Tart? We had a whole class on Pop-Tarts, what they're made out of, and all of that kind of stuff, and it was pretty neat. So we're talking about physical things. Sometimes we'll get into a poor place with that. Sometimes we'll get beyond that. We start to contemplating, I got to do something about it. Then we prepare to do something, and then at some point we go crazy and take action on it. And then once we get to a place where we want to be, we have to maintain it. You don't get, once you get to that place, you just don't stay at that place. You have to get to that place and then maintain that. So, we're going to do some of these, some trivia thing really quickly before we get started here on our stuff. We do have stuff, and this guy is, what does he look like?
Shit.
He looks pretty bad. He looks like he's got some issues, doesn't he? He's got some things going on with him. So he needs to be working on his stuff. Now, here's the way we're going to do this. If you blurt out the answer, then it's going to be null and void, and nobody's going to be able to get that. So if you know the answer, you have to raise your hand, and we'll go around. And can 20 people get their same answer and get it all right? Yeah. Doesn't matter. So here's the first question. This is all about Easter. So we all know everything there is to know about Easter. After the first day of spring, Easter falls on the Sunday following what lunar event?
Sunrise service.
Sunrise service, he said. That's not right. That's totally, completely, utterly incorrect. That's not right. That's not the answer. That's not. No, that's not.
He said,
Say it again. After the first day of spring. Easter falls on the Sunday following what lunar event?
Lunar
eclipse.
No.
Spring.
Spring.
I think it's the moon.
Good try. Good try.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
April Fools.
April Fools. April Fool man said.
Is it the lunar equinox?
Is it what?
Lunar equinox?
The lunar equinox. Anybody else got another
Eclipse.
eclipse? He said, no, let's go on to the next call. You know, I'm going to tell you, we don't know that one, right? Now, I know all of you ladies probably got that one, but if you did, put a mark beside the name over there. Whoever's doing that, but you won't know because I didn't tell you what the correct name was. So, what animal?
A rabbit.
Y'all listen. Wait a minute. See, you can't blurt it out, Mr. Bell. Can't blurt it out. What animal, see, listen, this is good. What animal is substituted for the Easter Bunny in the 1974 Charlie Brown special?
That's Snoopy the dog. The
He
Peanuts.
blurted it out so no one gets a chance on that one. It was Snoopy the dog,
They call him
but he blurted that out, so we don't get any credit for it over at North either. Because we have a gentleman here who raised his hand, and when he raised his hand, his mouth came open, his brain engaged, and you know. So don't do that. So that blew that. And when you see him next time, just give him one of them, you know. All right, one more, and then we're going to start this stuff. And we have about, 25 of these. So, which of the main stars of the Harry Potter film was born on Easter Day in 1990? Anybody got an idea? Hermione. Yeah. Oh, that's not it. Have y'all ever spelled her name backwards? That's how they got that name. If you spell it backwards, you'll see what it means. They took it all around, spelled it backwards, and it came out Hermione. So they said, that sounds like a good name for some witchy, crazy lady. So, all right, nobody got that? Nobody knows what that one is? All right, these are harder than I thought, huh?
Peas.
So I'm gonna ask one more because, you know, got to get a little bit. What do people in Bermuda, that's a little island nation, like to fly on Easter weekend? Mr. Bell.
Kites.
Kites. Mr. Bell said they like to fly kites.
Yeah, right.
That's absolutely correct. Let's put one down for Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell has one. So at this point in time, Mr. Bell is leading the pack by leaps and bounds. Those are a little more complicated than I had anticipated, but we're going to go back over and we'll get all of the answers because I know some of your ladies at North probably got all of those, and you need to know what they are. But, you know.
That's the third time.
Third time.
We ain't got no ladies.
Third day again?
You got ladies on the team.
Yeah.
Be live.
Where?
He does two classes at the same time.
Well, that's because I said that.
No,
He's on talking to some.
Put it. Oh, right. Oh, no.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we are zooming to North, and at North, for those of you who don't know, is that's our ladies' facility, And so we have about 20, 22, 23 ladies over there. And so, they usually do a better job of a whole lot of stuff than we do. And that's okay. So we're going to be talking a little bit this morning. And before we get too far, we're not going to go too far before we do some more of that Easter trivia stuff. This guy here looks like he's having a really bad time. He's not in good shape. He's skinny as a rail. He's losing he's losing his mind a little bit. He's not feeling well. So when we first get into our recovery, a lot of times we feel like that. So we're going to learn about the benefits of exercise. Some of us know the benefits of exercise. I go over and exercise. I'm going to go today. I went yesterday. I'm going to go today. I'm not going to be here Friday, so I try to go 3 days a week. So this week's going to be 3 days in a row. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. And I see people in here.
What kind of exercise?
Yesterday I exercised triceps. Today it's going to be biceps. Or it's going to be back and chest. And that means this whole week I'm going to miss out on my leg exercise because I didn't feel like going.
5-pound weights.
Sir?
I say, which you lift 5-pound weights.
No. I want to get up to that. I'm working at getting up to that. Yeah. See, if I look. Now, y'all look. They may not believe this, but Mr. Bell asked me yesterday why I only wore long sleeve shirts. Because when I take my shirts off, I look almost exactly like Santana. I do. But you can't see it. You can't see it because I got these long sleeves on. Just like him. Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I have arms, I have biceps, I have triceps, I have every muscle he does.
Very good, huh?
They don't show like that, but I do have them. So look, there are some benefits of exercise.
Hey, don't worry about that. I'm gonna write you.
Thank you.
Don't worry about that.
There are benefits of exercise, and like I said, I have seen some people out here. We've got a few little weights out there, and look, I want to tell y'all this. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I have one of those exercise centers. It's a machine. It has all sorts of stuff all around, for your chest, back, all kinds of stuff. I had it set up in my office at my home, and that thing is like 12 by 20, and it took that up. So I took it down, I tore it all apart, and then it's on my back porch. And I don't know where we would put it here. I'm going to talk to the folks who, the powers that be, and if they will let me donate it, I'll do it, but I don't know where we could set it up. It's huge. And you guys, we tore it all down. It's got cables and stuff that have to go.
You have to put it on the slab with that table.
That would be a good place for it. And you guys would have to figure out how it goes back together. I don't doubt we could do it. I think, we got enough people in here that's got enough range to do it.
When I was here 6 months ago, you said that same thing.
Yeah, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did. One of us is having a brain. But I'm going to see if they'll let me do that, and then if they will, I'm going to get it loaded up in my pickup truck and bring it up here, and we can unload it, and we can. I'll just bet you we can figure out how to put that thing
Would
back.
you be able to get this your truck by yourself?
Well, I've got a son who can help me do it. It's pretty heavy stuff. Yeah, and it's my wife's truck, so we'll bring it over here and
That's my truck.
we get some stuff. Because I will be. This is a weeder. This is one of those weeder systems. And weeder had some good stuff. So we'll.
And that's a Dodge y'all got.
So the objective of this is to identify the purposes of an active lifestyle and plan to make it happen. Here's the deal. Working out the way that some of us work out is not necessarily what we have to do every time. If you're just moving, if you're just doing something, if you just have some activity. I do know that one of our counselors here goes for a mindfulness walk. That's a good thing. It's just walking. But look, it's not a bad thing to do. If we get up, most of us lead a sedentary lifestyle. What does that mean? If I'm leading a sedentary lifestyle, that means I'm just sitting around most of the time. And that's what we do. The biggest thing we do is watch television or, read or something like that. And so we can't, we got to get to a place where we're moving a little bit. When I go over to North, I see the ladies walk around the thing. They take mindfulness walks and they do stuff like that as well. So there is some activity there. And there's some benefits of exercise that we need to look at. Physical activity and regular exercise can be an integral part of our recovery. It's about, look, here's one of the big things. I will tell you that when you do exercise, you feel better about who you are. Your self-esteem goes up.
Look good.
You look good. You feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. If I feel well, I do well. So that's a good thing. So exercise can lead to increased sense of accomplishment. Let me tell you, we've got a couple of guys that work out over there where I work out, more than two. There's probably 4 or 5 of them. Yesterday I went a little bit late, and there were 4 or 5 guys there that I hadn't seen before. But, those guys are in pretty good shape. They got themselves looking pretty good, and they have that sense of accomplishment because, of course, there are mirrors all down the wall there, so it's easy for you to take inventory, see how you're looking, what's going on. Then when you go into the bathroom there to get, to get dressed and all of that stuff, again, they have the mirrors there so you can continue to take inventory and see how you look and all of that kind of stuff. And they have mirrors set up so that you can just watch all parts of your body as it grows and stuff like that, and as you exercise and all of that. And you can see an accomplishment. We have a little guy over there that started working out, and his arms are about that big around. And I notice him, he's working as hard as he can, but he's looking around to look at the other guys. Because we've got guys over there that's got some pretty good sized arms and stuff on them. And I haven't spoken to the guy, but I want to go tell the guy, look, don't be intimidated by those guys because, if you work your muscle, it will grow. And yours will, theirs started out about like that, and it will grow and it will get there. And so, we also have some guys there that are way overweight. And same thing. And they have things at Planet Fitness it's all over the walls and everything. You can't be a judge. You can't tell anybody, you can't look at people mean or anything like that. You can't judge those folks. So we don't want to judge people because if you're moving, if you're doing anything, then that's what we need to do. Just get something going on in your life. Sure?
Some people don't do nothing.
Some people don't do. You're right. Some people don't do
Don't
it.
exercise.
They just vegetate.
That's it.
That's it. So we need to do something. Exercise can lead to accomplishment, better health, improved self-esteem. If you don't feel good about yourself, if you're depressed, anxious, you don't feel good about who you are, go exercise. It will release endorphins into your brain, which will help you first off get a little bit of legal, good, normal, high, so you feel good. And then secondly, you'll look better so that you'll feel better about yourself, and it'll raise up that. It helps with depression, anxiety, all of those things. It also increases those endorphins. That's what we just talked about, which acts as the body's normal, natural antidepressant. Abusing drugs and alcohol damages the body's ability to feel pleasure. Increasing activity and exercise can be a way to increase endorphins in the central nervous system, causing us to feel better, more balanced, and healthier. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. One of the things we need to do ourselves personally, no matter what level of health you're at, no matter what level of exercise you're doing, is to write down what you are doing. You know, if you just write this down, look, I work out every day. I'm doing this. Arnold Schwarzenegger is embarrassed by me. Yes,
Are you talking about like journaling?
yes, but not a lot. Journaling is something you continue doing forever and ever and ever. But if I just write down, this is what I do one time, just one time, and then I'm going to keep up with doing that on a daily basis.
So I personally, I won't say I enjoy, but I enjoy how I go about living my life daily. Whenever I write out a weekly schedule,
Yeah.
it helps me stay more focused and on point on what I need to do, and I don't forget shit because I made a big ass calendar.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, that helps me, but never really did much on journaling.
Well, let me share this with you too, because some people have to do that.
Yeah.
I pretty much have to write down what I do, and we have one counselor here that I will guarantee you, if you say something to her, don't go back and try to take it back. She's going to write it down. She writes everything down. Sometimes that's a little bit disconcerting because I can't say something to her and then 2 weeks later say, well, I didn't say that. She said, yes, you did on this day, Monday at 2:15. Okay. So some people have to have that. I need that. Yeah. So sometimes it can be a little bit bad. Being physically active and engaging in regular exercise that often falls by the wayside when I'm using my drugs and my alcohol. Let me tell you something. When I was using drugs and alcohol, when I was in the midst of my addiction, I wasn't exercising. I wasn't doing anything that was healthy. I wasn't even eating. When I'm drinking, I'm not eating. From time to time. Y'all know what a pickled pig's foot is?
You say Bigfoot?
Yeah,
Pickled
pig's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to eat those when I'd get to drinking and stuff. I'd go to the store and I'd get me one of those. And I stopped eating them after I pulled one out. I got it out of the bottle and I was eating that thing. And my friend who was with me, his name was Daniel. He had passed away since. He told me, he said, man, what are you eating? I said, well, that's a pickled pig's foot. He said, it looks like an aborted baby. So from that time forward, I haven't had one. That kind of put a damper on my desire. They really taste good. But if you think about what it is, it's anyway, pickled pig's foot. So looking at your life, looking at the past several years or more, what activities, what sports do you do? What exercise do you participate in? And I've had people tell me that they, guys that go to the gym, ladies that go to the gym, they're not really exercising because they enjoy exercising. They're exercising because they know they need to. I'm going to tell you, I enjoy it. I really, it makes you feel really, really, really good. And today my triceps are painful because I wore them out yesterday, but it just really feels good to do that. So if we've never done that, we need to give that a shot. Now, I don't think that anybody in here has never done any heavy exercise, but one of the things that happens, and as you grow older, and look, when they're talking about growing older, they're not talking about my age, they're talking about 40. So as you're growing older, working out with heavy weights is more important because it actually strengthens your bones. When your bones know, as you exercise, as you use resistance training, your bones start to rebuild themselves stronger. So, you see all of these old folks with a broken hip and, they can't walk and all of these kinds of stuff because of age or age-related stuff like that. If they would exercise with the weights, then your bones would strengthen themselves. And that's just amazing. I had a guy that was working with me in a church years and years and years ago, and he was like 85 years old. And every day he was in the gym. He led music at the church, and then every day he was in the gym. And he was still, about 85. I don't know how much longer he made it, but at about 85, he was still going strong, feeling good. But he was over there, you know, he could show you a muscle and all of that kind of stuff. He had a little knot and all of that kind of stuff. So it's good for you more than just your muscles. It helps your bones. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
I wish you would. Yeah. I just, you know, just something deep inside me wants to go fighting. Yeah.
My dad was 93 when he died, but he was about 85. He was taking 3 bundles of sheets.
Yeah.
On the ladder and put them on the roof, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, about 15 or 16, my brother-in-law had a business where they did roofing, and I'd have to split those bundles up in 3 to get, you know, to get that stupid bundle. I'd get the bundle up there, but I had to cut it up in 3. I weighed about 110 pounds, you know, so I'm doing it. But as I grew older, you know, and I started working out and all of that kind of stuff, when they called me over and said, hey, you know, you need, so then I'd cut it up into 3 and I'd walk it up that, you know. And now today that I'm 72, I will bet you that I can still cut it up into 3 and take it up there. You know?
90 pounds.
Say it again to me.
Like 90 pounds.
They weigh about 90 pounds. I don't know how much they weigh.
Nah.
They're pretty heavy.
Yeah, when I was doing roofing for a little while before I came here.
Yeah.
They like 90 pounds.
Got 90 pounds. That's a pretty good little bit of weight.
Architecture
And I have seen guys. I have seen guys throw a couple of them up there. You know, some pretty good.
but not the age.
No.
Yeah.
Not from their age. I bet it's like 84, 85.
No, I'm not, and I'm not gonna. You know, I'm having to get to the place where I pick and choose what I'm gonna do.
Right.
So I'm not gonna. One of the things that bothers me, I have, you know, I have 8 acres of land out in the woods, and I have there's 1 acre that's pretty much cleared where, you know, the house is and all of that stuff, and I've got a little riding lawnmower that I cut the grass with. You know, just riding around in the grass. And man, when I get off that thing, my back hurts and I hurt all over and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, crud, there's something to this getting older. You know, so I pick and choose the physical things that I'm going to do. But working out is one physical thing that I'm going to do because it does all that good for you.
I just got a snare.
Okay.
You got a son, right?
Well, you know, that's
Excuse my language.
yeah, that's good. He has. I don't like the way he does it. I do not like the way he does it. He gets on that thing, man, and he'll get, the grass is cut, but when I look at it, it's just not right. You know, I mean, he's left it right in the middle of it. He's left some grass. Or how can you do that? How can you leave that?
Is it a 0 turn or?
No.
Track.
No, it's a little John Deere
Yeah.
F1 D100 or whatever that is.
Check the tire, see if the tire will balance. You know.
Well, I know one of them's not, but that's not what's going. He's just not working on it. So when people enter treatment, a lot of the time we make a commitment to clean up our lives in various ways.
Yeah.
You know, and look, y'all know this. When you come into treatment, your life needs cleaned up, not only physically, but a whole bunch of other places. So changes are often made relationally. What does that mean? There's people that I get out of my life. There's some people I need to get out of my life. Emotionally, spiritually, occupationally, there's some jobs that I just don't need to do. And then lastly, physically. So there's a whole bunch of ton of things that we need to do. So eating well, sleeping better, exercising, taking my medications appropriately, and changing your thought patterns all serve to increase self-esteem and help you feel better about the person that you are becoming. Look, I'm going to tell you something. When we got into treatment, when we came into treatment, we were this particular person. And during treatment, we're this particular person. When we get out of treatment, we're going to be that particular person. So I am becoming someone different than when I came into treatment. I shouldn't get out of here in 45 days or 60 days or whatever it is, and there not be any change in my life. There should be change in my thought processes. There should be change in everything that's going on, right? Should be some things changing. Now, we're going to do a few more of these trivia things, just to see. Now, I do apologize. When I printed this thing off, I thought, hey, that's going to be easy. It's turned out some of these are not so easy. So we're going to do about 3 more of them. And if y'all don't get any of these, I'm going to have to bring everybody.
Isn't everybody
Donut, yeah.
Well, we gotta raise our hands.
Say it again.
It's not good raising your hands. It's not fun that way.
Well, I know. But if you blurt it out, then nobody gets then everybody can get it. So we don't want to do that. So what Gene Autry, and I know you all have listened to Gene Autry. He's an old singing cowboy. It wouldn't surprise me if nobody had ever heard of him. What Gene Autry song helped merge the legends of Peter Rabbit and Easter Bunny?
Never heard of
Never heard of it. It was back in my time.
What was it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you that one. Gene Autry helped merge the legends of Peter Rabbit and Easter Bunny because he started singing the song Peter Cottontail, which kind of puts them both together. So I'm just going to give that. So what color are the original and most popular color of the Peeps candy?
Yellow.
He said yellow.
Pink.
Pink, he said.
Yellow.
Yellow, he said, because he don't know.
Almost like yellow.
What are you going to say, yellow?
Peach.
Peach?
Purple.
Purple, he said.
Green.
Green, way back in the back.
Blue.
Blue, he said, because that's another color. He
Yeah.
said white. Are you taking the yellow off?
No.
Anybody else? All right, so it's yellow. It's yellow. So,
I see yellow.
That gets no.
well, I can't find your name on here, dude.
Who?
Aaron Allen.
I don't. Oh, it's on a different one. I'm sorry.
Now that
No wonder you weren't on there.
I'm special.
But I don't
I got my
have.
own page.
I don't have the paper. Did you
Got
fill out the
10.
paper?
I signed one.
It's on the desk right here.
That's a tap. You got 10.
Yeah. Okay. So,
You can't have my
sir. All right. What event is held every Monday after Easter on the White House lawn?
Each day, huh?
Oh, he blew it up, so nobody gets anything
My
for
bad.
that one. So that is his bad. So anyway,
John.
can't use that one. If y'all got it over at North, we had an individual here who thought about it, got it, and it went through his brain. He opened his mouth, vomited it out. So we lost that one. So what movie has ABC shown on Easter weekend for the past 50 years?
Passion of Christ.
Passion of Christ. No.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown, he said.
Fat Albert.
Fat Albert, he said. Fat Albert? Y'all remember Fat Albert?
Yeah.
I love Fat Albert. What was it? Ten Commandments. It is Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown.
I got donuts still.
One other thing. What island? Y'all think about this. It can be easy, but it may not. What island did Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen find on Easter Day in 1722?
Easter Island. Oh, look at you.
What do you think?
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island. Anybody else?
Easter egg.
Yeah, you don't count though. You ain't. No, you do. I'll get you a donut tomorrow. Okay, I can't find you.
You got it right?
Yeah, it's Easter Island.
You just guessed that?
That's the one that has all of those big old statues, about half of a person, and they dug down on some of those, and those things go
You gotta go
way
straight up.
down.
So this guy
Maui's, yeah,
It really does, Bob.
the Maui's, yeah, something. So,
I'll take islands for 2,000.
oh, okay. What's vagrant? No, that's not right. What fragrant white blooms adorn homes and churches during the Easter season? Yes.
Cherry blossom.
No.
You said what now?
What fragrant white blossoms adorn homes and churches during the Easter season? Miss Charnel knows. She went and told me.
Dandelion.
No, Dad doesn't.
Honeysuckles.
Sunflower.
Easter lily.
Easter lily. Easter lily. All right. Yeah, Easter lilies. Everywhere you go to church, they got them all over the place, and they're pretty nice things. So, real quickly, we're going to go over this thing. When going through treatment for substance abuse and mental health issues, exercise can serve to a wide variety of useful purposes. Now, what we're going to do is go over all of these useful purposes. Some of them may apply to you, some of them may not. But, if they do, great. If they don't, remember that they may apply to your neighbor. So here's some of the things, and some of this applies to everybody. Getting in better physical shape. How many people know that everybody here could get in better physical shape? You could. Some of us, look, there's not a whole lot of us in here that are, in real bad shape, right? I mean, most of us are in fairly good shape, but you could get in a little bit better shape, right? Y'all remember who Arnold Schwarzenegger was, right?
Yeah.
Or who he still is. He ain't dead, He went to his first Mr. Olympia, and he won it like 7 times. He went to the first one, and he didn't make the cut. Why? He wasn't ready. That's what I watched the film where they talked to him about it, and he was just devastated. He looked pretty good, but he wasn't ready. So so he could get a little bit better. The next year he went, right, and he was able, and he won it about 7 times. So we can all get in a little bit better shape. So no matter where you are, get a little bit better. It can help us to lose weight. Anybody in here feel like they need to lose weight? Well, I don't think either one of you guys need to lose weight, but I had a bodybuilder in my class, and we had to do a thing where if you were obese, then they had to do a special thing with you, okay? And this guy he was huge, and he was in probably best shape he'd ever been in his life. And he was so heavy from just muscle that he fit being obese for his height. He was over the weight limit, and they considered him obese. And all of these guys had to go, and the guys that were obese because of fat had to go and do this, that, and the other. And here's this guy, and they were requiring him to do that as well. It took us a lot. Because those guys weren't on the scene. They couldn't go and take a look. We'd send them pictures and all kinds of stuff. This guy doesn't need to do that. We finally got him out of it, but it took a minute. So some people, if you need to lose weight, working out will help you do that. Just go, work it off. Work it off. Y'all know we had a guy right here in this group, and Mr. Trahan, you may remember him, that had lost 800 pounds. Remember him? He had, I don't know, He weighed about 250 pounds. He had lost 400 pounds. He had weighed at one time in his life 800. Yeah, yeah.
You talking about a big tall white guy?
No. He was about
What's his name, Joe?
no. His name. He was about my height, and he was Hispanic and a very wealthy young man, and he lost
You said
all that
wealthy.
stuff.
He was wealthy enough.
Yeah, he owns his own business and makes about 10 grand a month. You know. So to me, that's wealthy.
Remember that guy when I was last year, that big old tall black guy? Used to give you a hard time.
Used to do what all the time?
Give you a hard time all the time.
Yeah,
Big old tall guy.
yes. I remember everyone that gave me a hard time.
No, but he was tall. You know, he died.
I do.
Yeah, you know who was all right?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Who was
but yeah, I remember him.
Well, he lost weight.
This can also, yeah, he lost a lot. It increases your stamina. What does that mean?
You can go longer.
You can go longer. You can do things, that's harder. You can do more stuff. It adds strength. That simply means I can lift more. I can move more. I can do, I can do more. So it's going to add to your strength. I remember I was going to a gym over here in Beaumont somewhere, and I remember the day just like it was yesterday when I was doing the push downs, for your triceps. I remember the day I was able to push down 30 pounds. That was a big day for me, 30 pounds. I thought, wow, 30 whole pounds. I could push down considerably more than that nowadays. But at that point in time, so since then I have built some strength. It also alleviates physical tension, working out, building your muscles, stuff like that. Alleviates some physical tension. Stress will cause tension and stuff in your life. When we are depressed and anxious and we have a lot of tension and all that kind of stuff, working out helps to get that off of you. It's really, really good. It helps you to get better at playing your favorite sport or whatever your sport is. Look, I saw some guys playing basketball. I saw one or two guys that were actually playing basketball. And then I saw a couple of guys that were playing at basketball. And here's another thing I wanted to share with you guys. I have it in the works right now to try to get a better basketball and a pump.
What about a soccer ball?
We play football right here, American football.
If you ever come back, bring that back up. All right? Now, we don't want you coming back like that. You can come back and do some other stuff. You can't do that. The one big thing that had for me, and we all have a little bit of an ego. Some of us have a bigger ego than others, but working out helps us feel better about who we are. It helps us feel better about me personally, and so we know we need to, just for that alone, we need to do that. It reduces the likelihood of physical illness. People who are in shape do not get sick as quickly as people who are out of shape. Right? They don't. You'll notice that if you have people that work for you, the people who are out of shape, they are going to, everything that comes along is going to attack them. Maybe they're a bigger target or something. They're just not in good shape, and they're going to get sick quicker than somebody that's in good shape.
It's just I want your opinion on this.
Okay, I'm really good.
So you know what the COVID really did to everybody, and then the news was putting out this strand of COVID is only going to attack this group of people, and then they did that like 2 or 3 times. The news announced it. So what does that mean? I think that means that the government can choose what group of people they want that virus to attack. So the strong and good, physically. I mean, that's just my opinion. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Doc?
Well, I will tell you a lot of things about COVID that, man, we could sit around for days and talk about that.
COVID-19 was about faith.
I did not take the shot.
I did not either.
My wife did not take the
They were
shot.
paying people in Portland, Oregon, $250 cash to go get that vaccination shot. That was a big red flag for me.
They were doing all sorts of stuff, but I didn't take it. Look, I don't know. What I do know is that if you're in really good shape, does that mean you're not going to catch COVID? No, no. You can be in really, really good shape, still catch COVID. Here's the deal. You're going to be able to deal with it better than somebody who doesn't. My neighbors across the road from me, a good guy, I was over at his house the day before yesterday. He and his wife both caught COVID at the same time. He was in pretty fair shape. You know, he's in his 50s and he's in pretty good shape. And he went to the hospital and went on the ventilator and all of that stuff and made it through there and is fine. His wife died. She was not in good shape. She already had a whole bunch of things, whole bunch of junk.
Yeah, it was big now.
Yeah. Yeah, but she died from that. Now I've had COVID a couple of times. It's kind of like a cold. It's kind of like for me. It's been. Somebody said it was like a really bad cold for them. For me, it was like a mild cold because I've had some pretty bad cold. But the COVID that I had, it was just like a mild cold, and so I got over it pretty quickly. But I was in pretty good shape when I got it. So you know. So it reduces the likelihood of physical illness. And one of the things that's important to me, for you to be there and for me to be there, is it improves my mood. It will improve your mood because it releases endorphins into your body. It makes you feel good, and it just improves your mood. It will actually strengthen your immune system. One of the things that is being recommended now for folks who have an immune system disorder, HIV or tuberculosis or some other things like that, is to do some strength training, to exercise heavily.
COVID-19 was, in my opinion, it was there to get rid of lazy people.
It did do some of that.
So one of those sicknesses you just named off, or viruses, if you will, and you said attacks the immune system. But that being said, attacking the immune system means to eliminate white blood cells.
Yes,
white
it
blood
will.
cells is what kills you.
Yeah. You have what's called T cells, and and HIV and what's called
No risk.
you have thank you. You have and that those diseases attack those T cells, which are your warrior cells, which fight all of that stuff that's coming in. Heavy exercise builds back up your immune system. It does not take the place of what has been destroyed, but it helps. You know, it's just like I say all the time. You know, being a veteran, when I go somewhere, I go buy a car part. Lots of times when I go out to eat, stuff like that, they'll give me a 10% discount because I'm a vet, you know. And like when I buy a car part, I bought a battery the other day for my RV, and it was $124. And then with tax, it was $12 more than that, it's $136. So the guy said, okay, we're going to give you your 10%. And they brought it all the way back down to $124. So it basically paid for my taxes. You know, is that okay? Absolutely. It's not that much. It's not like 50%, but it's 10%. So if my exercising will put back into my immune system 10% of what I lost, is it worth doing?
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get that 10% back. Yeah. So yeah, works out pretty good. So it strengthens my immune system, and it will create an energy boost in me. You'll notice that people like Mr. Santana was saying, people who don't exercise usually don't exercise. You know what that means? If they, because they get to the place where they're more and more lethargic, they're more and more lazy, they're more and more less able to do. So the more I sit, because it gets harder and harder and harder for me to do it. Right? And going back to Fat Albert, back in the day I watched Fat Albert, and they had one show with Fat Albert in it where they were talking about getting healthy and getting into good shape and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't remember Fat Albert, the reason they call Fat Albert because Fat Albert was fat. You know, Fat Albert was real big, fat. Yeah. And so they were talking about, you know, how getting healthy and all of that kind of stuff. And when they got around to Fat Albert, he said, just because you got all this fat here don't mean that there ain't muscle underneath it. Well, of course, there's muscle underneath it to be able to move that around. But even if you're doing something, that's not healthy. You know, it's not healthy. And so doing that, it's going to give you more energy. The less I do, the less energy I'm going to have. The more I do, the more energy I'm going to have. The more I do, the more I can do, right? So if I don't feel like doing stuff, what should I do? Go do stuff. Go do stuff. Go start exercising. And it's going to help you get to that. So one more of these, and we're going to quit on this. It also, look, it makes you a good, positive role model for other people. You know, and here's the deal, and it's true. If I can do it, you can do it. If anybody else, you know, just anybody can do it. You know, I've had people tell me, well, I'm in too bad shape to go work out. So the reason you're in that bad shape is because you don't go work out. So just work out a little bit. If you don't want to work out, get up and go move. Like Mr. Santana was saying, some people just don't do anything. So if you just do something, which is like walking around the building, you know, just do something. So we're going to take a little break. If we get back to 15 after, then we'll finish this up. And see who gets the donuts. Or two or three.
Mickey Mouse.
Recuerdo el día que te conocí, tu sonrisa de puede decir que sí. Me besaste en el aire, me mecí. Terminé rojo, pero todo te ofrecí. Está cabrón, han pasado tantos años desde que te conozco. Y de nuevo somos todos extraños. Primero besos los extraños. Los polvos en la cocina y en el baño. ¿Qué se siente ser feliz? Solamente cuando tocas porque únicamente por eso te abandona.
No Testament What?
Lo que quiero, lo
They got a whole party in that group.
Oh, what?
cuando toma. No llenar ese vacío, porque únicamente es mío, por eso es que te abandona. Es que siempre ha sido lo que quiero, lo consigo. A tu nombre alzo mi copa, porque dormiré con otra y tú soñarás conmigo. Te lo dije, corazón, cabrón, siempre tiene su castigo. Dime cómo quieres que te explique que por más que llores y supliques, yo ya no vuelvo contigo. La verdad sí me arrepiento por haberte conocido. Y verte porque causas pena ajena. Creo que en realidad tienes problemas. No quieres que te pague, solo quiero que me largues. Estoy en efectivo. Así suena el ritmo de como quieres que te explique que por más que llores y supliques, yo ya no vuelvo contigo. La verdad sí me arrepiento por haberte conocido. Palabra de hombre, que esta vez voy a aguantar lo que tenga que pasar y me hará bien la soledad. Voy a dar vuelta a la hoja, sacaré lo que me estorba de mi mente y la zona. Hoy sus besos me adornan y sus ojos no verán ni una lágrima. Aquí nadie va a llorar. Tengo prohibido recordar no le importa mi cariño. Y si quiere regresar, que vaya por donde vivo. Dice mi orgullo, otro amor me encontré. Te va a buscar en un futuro una edición especial de tu vida el número uno. Aquí nadie va a llorar. No fascina cuando me empiece a extrañar.
That's not.
That's an unbelievable lie.
My girl and I, she's like a girl next I think next is our like, 6, 7, 7, 5.
Y si quieres regresar, que vaya por donde dice mi orgullo.
Yo, that's my
Vamos en un futuro, una edición especial de tu vida el número uno. Nadie va a ignorar cuando me empiece a extrañar.
One day, when you know I'm certain. Yeah, when I was teaching 7th grade, and my Hispanic kid, man, I had one kid who was
Hey, go back to Dumb Killers. What is it? I want to see. Go back to Dumb Killers.
Arriba las tóxicas. Que para amarle de libras pero pa' que me odies y con ganas conocido, voy a ser tu peor castigo. Voy a ser la piedra. Se la va mi vida y te va mi madre. Cuanto más quemada te fuiste sin dar explicaciones del valor de tus amores.
Oh, I should get it. So we're not there. She knows she's doing. She's trying to tell apart. She's winning. So yeah, first up, yeah. That's performing. That sponsor, you had a letter. The other person saying you performed this day. We're gonna kill you. You still perform because you love you. You read the letter from everyone. And the letter said, you perform right now, we'll kill you after. You still perform, right after you left, you gotta run. And it's hard to follow. When we take outside,
que cuando pierdo no lloro. La nobleza de Paracas, la belleza de Paracas, pasar cuál es la vida en la que vas a acostar, no los puede perder, a jugar. Tengo 3 viejas señores viviendo en la misma casa. Todas las pelis y discuten, ya saben de qué se trata. A las 3 las quiero mucho, porque son las que bailan. Siempre las traigo conmigo, exactas son compañía. Son mi mayor alegría, y aparte de la vida, me dan por elegir la vida.
Andrew, no? Yes, sir. I don't have a smell. I only got there. That's it. Just say that. He's all banda. That's what I listen to. Banda, which is like, hey, and rancho.
We're gonna live there, yeah, bro. I don't like that 55 stuff. I like the 210.
See what I mean? So all it is, too smart. I'm sorry, it's not. They don't even.
You wake up and group chat and read like that.
They shoot that voice. One of the they need something. This is that.
No he podido comenzar otra historia, pues en mi cabeza estas tantas horas quisiera pasar, pero al ver a pedir, sin peso antes de dormir.
I just say the word Mexico.
Brazos que son parte de nuestra historia y no olvidamos más que nada.
steps in. So what's the one step? It's a hard step. There's other ones that are just like saying like I was you don't think it's good? She basically she was good and they try to kill her. Well they basically killed her. They set up a snake like and so I take that snake, that's that snake. Yes, she was the second Mexican that was popular. Yes. So the first was Selena. I killed her too. Yeah, that won't tell. One of her men. Yeah. This one, she said this one. She was popping. She was sex she was popping. They didn't want that. They didn't want her to keep going. She was popping. She got popping. Going out there. So, sending concerts and everything. Yeah, exactly, but they didn't want that. Yeah, same thing for like this. You know, same way they hit it on her. But they're saying she makes her dead. She's been wasted. But she has daughters that sound just like her. And when it's stupid thing, it scares her. She was here. She was born in the U.S. Didn't it go? She was a good singer too. That's not the She basically said, fuck everyone, fuck all you do. I get my money, I get everything.
Sí, yo sé que lo disfruto, pero podemos ser discretos.
Yeah, in Mexico, you can't perform or sing certain songs in Mexico or around the this part songs like this in Toronto, and also never close to the town. That this is the town around the town, you'll have to close the doors. Well, they'll warn you. They'll be like, hey, turn it down, it's not. You start sweating your hair,
Te prometo no mancharte la camisa, no pedirte más amor si estás deprisa. Te comprende. Que se hace con Te prometo no dejar ninguna evidencia de tu gesto. Te prometo no ser discreto. Te prometo ser paciente y esperar a que tú regreses.
So she's been alright. She's you know, rap is they came to Logan. This perfect to Logan. It's wanted pretty. You know? No, but then people right there. Yeah, wanted.
Esta noche
Those bookies are good too.
quiero pensar.
What's else in the car?
Trataré de sonreír, escucharé la voz.
Right there. I like that. I'll let it go.
No verás
Well, basically, when you drive a truck, you have to buy that something
dejaré tus recuerdos después Dios dirá, no verás una lágrima mirará, mi dice tu nombre solo está.
No es por más Vision Fire.
Y será
Y siempre Fernando.
la noche te quiera, última noche juro que olvidaré y seré y no volverás.
Los tigres.
Después de tantas noches de amor, solo, solo
You say we had intro? Oh, this is Ollie. Go down my way. Because I had an old school shirt.
traían la llanta del carro, perfectas, te llevaban la eran de mi pareja. Y sabía la tejana.
So nowadays you play like Fuerza Regida. People like
Look at that. I'm 5 minutes late, and we go
no, you're 6 minutes
6 minutes late to Manor. 5 minutes would have been all right. Sorry, ladies, that I'm late. I got called to the carpet. We still have everybody out there. I got called on the carpet a little bit this morning, so you know.
I'm probably next.
That's okay. So, real quickly, we're going to do, as soon as we get everybody back in here, we're going to do a few more of these tricks.
Go turn back to
Will be, the fact that I came back late,
You're
really late. You said I was 6 minutes late. The fact that I came back late to group is going to make us get through pretty quickly. You know, so let me see where we were. This is some of these are a little bit far fetched, and some of them are a little bit way off thing. So I do apologize for that. But so if you don't know them, I do understand. So just like leaving cookies for Santa Claus years ago, children used to leave something for the Easter Bunny. They don't do that anymore. But what did they used to leave for the Easter Bunny?
eggs.
Now raise your hand.
Eggs.
Not eggs. What did they leave?
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate. No. Anybody else got it? Yes, sir.
Carrots.
Carrots. They gave carrots.
Oh, yeah.
Did you sign on this? You sign on this? You got something? Who are you? What's your name?
Benjamin.
Who?
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Hey, is my name on there?
Yes. So okay, they left. They used to leave carrots for them. What company? What company makes 500 million cream eggs every year? Remember, raise your hand.
Hershey.
Not Hershey. This one you don't see a lot of them during the year, but you see them at Easter. They make 500 million of them, and they're round little eggs with
White cream in the middle.
white cream in the middle of them. What other?
Oh, Reese's.
No. Getting closer though. Anybody?
Oh, good way.
No. All right, we'll leave that one. What Central American country hosts the world's largest Easter celebration?
Florida.
Florida? Somebody said, you said Florida? Columbia? Florida is like a state, you know. Anybody else got a quick guess?
What's the question?
USA.
USA?
What's the question?
What Central American country hosts the world's largest Easter celebration?
Brazil. No. Colombia. No. Ireland.
Ireland is not Central America. All right, one more. What MCU actor and the sexiest man alive winner was born on Easter Day?
Me. Oh, no. He was rich.
Jason Momoa.
Elvis Presley.
No, I don't even know this person.
What's the name?
I can only imagine what the girls were saying. No, they got it.
I'm going to give this to you because I don't know this, but Paul Rudd. Anybody know who Paul Rudd is?
No.
He was voted sexiest man of the year. What Easter decoration do many people place on their door?
Rabbit.
Rabbit. No, not a rabbit. No, not a rabbit.
Egg.
Not an egg. All right, so really quickly, we're going to go over some of these things because we don't have just a few minutes left, and we may want to quit a little bit early. So it gives you an energy view. If we're out there exercising, it's going to do a few things for us. Makes us the last thing we talked about was being a positive role model for other people. It also reduces boredom during and after treatment. This is important. What is one of the biggest reasons people relapse when they get out of treatment? Boredom. We just get bored because, and it's not that we're doing things that are boring. It's just that we're doing those things without the use of drugs. And so if we're doing them without the use of drugs, it makes it feel like they're boring. And so, it's not as much fun as it used to be. Exercise helps with that, getting off of the boredom thing. If we're bored, we need to go exercise because the exercise will allow us to, lets that endorphins into our brain system and all of that kind of stuff and brings us to a better place. So it helps us doing that. It also increases healthy feelings, healthy positive feelings in us. If we're having depressive or anxiety issues and stuff like that, the use of exercise can increase positive feelings for us. It also, it's almost like the boredom thing, but it provides a healthy distraction from what's going on. There's lots of stuff in our life that lead us to want to use drugs and all of this kind of stuff that cause us some issues. This, having an exercise, doing some exercise every day will be distracting. Sometimes we need a distraction from life and life's issues, and this can be a good distraction. It helps to maintain temptation. It helps to manage cravings. If I'm craving my drug, one of the best things to do is to exercise. We allow cravings to get to that place where it's a little bit too heavy and it can cause us some issues. exercise will deal with the cravings. It helps to deal with them. It adds some structure. One of the things that we struggle with in our recovery is structure. And having an exercise program that I'm part of every day or 3 times a week or however often we do it adds some structure to our recovery plan. It's just helpful in having that do it. It boosts our motivation. You know, if I'm out there exercising, trying to get my body in a certain place, and my drug comes up and says, you need to use me, then we have a motivation. One of the motivators is I'm trying to get into better shape. I'm trying to get my body in better shape. I'm trying to get my health in better shape. I'm trying to get my mental health somewhere it needs to be. So that gives me a motivation to stay sober. So it also is a good place to let off steam. When I have some anger issues or anxiety, anything like that going on, then exercise helps me to get that out of my system. So it's something we can do to get that out of our systems. It helps us to feel accomplished. I have been able to do something. I talk to people all the time who tell me that they haven't been able to accomplish much in their life. So I've been going out, exercising, doing some stuff like that, can give us a sense of accomplishment. Probably not as much as they need, but it does give us something. So we're doing something. It helps us to manage our emotions better. It helps us to manage our emotions better. A lot of the time, our emotions are brought up by the fact that our limbic system is a little bit out of whack because of the fact that we were using drugs and alcohol. And now when we exercise, it does dump some of those things into our brain. You know, it lets some endorphins work, and that will help with our emotional issues. It does something to regain control over your life. You know, when we were out there using our drugs, then that drug had control over my life. The drug was telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, how much. Now that I'm exercising a little bit, it gives me some control over my life again. And that's a good thing. It builds self-awareness. One of the things we don't have really well is being self-aware. So this will bring self-awareness. It shows me which muscles are lagging, which muscles need to be built some more, which muscles need to be left alone a little bit, and where I'm weakest and where I'm strongest, and all of those things I become a little bit more self-aware on. Reaching a fitness goal. I mean, all of us should have a fitness goal. I have a fitness goal. I know where I want to be 5 years from now. I know where I want to be. Have y'all ever watched the bodybuilding competitions? Did you know that there's bodybuilding competitions for 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds? It's called Mr. Over 70 and Miss Over 70. And some of those guys are in pretty good shape. Some of those guys, and it shows you that even as your age progresses, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit down somewhere, get you a cane, and start walking around. You don't have to be that person. You can do something about that. You can't ever not be the age you are, but you can be in really good shape for your age, and you can also be in good shape in spite of your age. Right. I'm going to tell you, I know some people that are 75, 80 years old and are in better shape than most 40-year-olds. So you have a fitness goal. Reduces the risk of relapse. There's a lot of reasons why exercising reduces the risk of relapse. One of them is keeps you from getting bored. Another one is keeps you focused. Another one is give you a life goal. Another one is to just make you feel better about yourself. And a lot of the times when I was using because of low self-esteem. So if I can bring my self-esteem back up to a better place, then I don't necessarily have to use. So gaining, it also helps me to stay away from old haunts, previous hangouts. I can't go with you to there because I'm working out. I have to go do what I need to do to get myself in shape. So I'm going to go do that. I have these other things in my life other than what I used to be doing. It also gives me a good way to gain some self-acceptance. No, excuse me, this hearing aid on this side going in and out. It's kind of weird. It's usually the good one going in and out. Gaining self-acceptance, acceptance of who I am, and then gives me some increased confidence. Yes, I can. Provides a positive outlet for stress. When we get stressed out, a lot of the times we're going to do stuff that's not positive. Going to work out, going to play some game, going to do some stuff is going to give me a good outlet for that stress. Establishes a healthy routine to food, following discharge from treatment. When I get out of treatment, I need to have a healthy plan for what I'm going to do. Working out needs to be part of that. It helps me to interact with positive people too. I will tell you a secret that you may not know. There's a lot of people out there who want to interact with you for all sorts of different reasons. Most people want to interact with you because of what they can get from you. I can sell you drugs. I want to interact with you. There's physical reasons I want to interact with you. Some of these people are negative people. They're not going to be helpful to my recovery. So working out, most of the time, look, when you go over there and work out, you're going to be around some positive people. That's a good thing. Feeling productive, you just get to feel in yourself that you are doing something that's good for you. Then we can improve our outlook for the future. If I can continue to do this, I'm going to be in pretty good shape over a period of time. If I can continue to do this, it gives me a good positive outlook for the future. Now, all of those things are going to be good for us if we decide we're going to get up and we're going to go do something that's good for us. And all of those things are good for us. So I want to ask you 5 questions and then we're done. So if we answer real quickly, we'll get out early. So one of the biggest things that I need to ask myself, and each one of us needs to ask ourselves, nobody needs to know the answer but myself. I need to know. What do I want for my future? What do I want? What kind of life do I want? What goals of value matter most to me right now? It's not about what society wants. It's not about what my family wants. It's not about what the treatment people want. What do I want? What do I want in my life? I had a fellow that wanted to be, years and years ago, he wanted to be an MMA fighter. He must have weighed about 80 pounds. He was a tough little fellow. But he also wanted to smoke dope every day of his life. And these were his 2 goals. Be an MMA fighter, smoke dope every day of his life. So, he needed to know what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do. So, we can be a present parent. That's a good goal. Being a present parent, what's that mean? Being there. That's one of the biggest things your kids want, is you being there. To feel healthy, that's one of my biggest goals. I just want to feel good. When I feel good, when I feel well, I do well. And I know over the last 6 months, probably haven't done as well as I am capable of because it just don't feel like it. I don't feel well. So if I don't feel well, I don't do well. To live with more freedom. I have a friend of mine, or a person I know, not necessarily a friend, but a person I know that is moving to a certain place because they're moving to get closer to the hospitals. Okay, a lot of people need to do. I don't want to do that. I want to be in good shape in good enough shape that I don't have to be worried about whether or not I'm close enough to the hospital. So if I know what I want for my future, what am I going to do to get what I want?
Work hard.
I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work hard on it. Yeah. So then I need to list the actions I'm currently taking, big or small. Some of mine is I'm going out to work out. Today, after group is over, I'm going to go over and work out a little bit. Are these things helping you or hurting you?
Yeah.
Going to if one of my goals is to stay sober, which it is, going to support meetings.
Yes.
Big deal. It's a big deal. Avoiding triggers. I think it's even bigger deal.
People, places, and things.
People, places, and things. Skipping sleep. I can't do that. I can't isolate. I can't get overly stressed. If I get overly stressed, what am I going to do? Not me. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go work out, and that's going to get me high.